to share with you today how to boss up your side hustle while working your 9 to 5, starting from the bottom.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
2004, we moved 78 miles from the Bay Area. We moved to a new area in the Valley, bought a home, was ecstatic about it. I was still a hairstylist, but I was also selling real estate. That's how we bought our home. Once we got here, I realized going back and forth to the Bay Area was going to be a little bit too much for me because my kids were still in school. So what was I going to do? I saw that the real estate in the area that we moved to, the real estate agents had it sold up, and it was nothing for me to do. So I'm like, what am I going to do? I got to do something. So I was continuously meeting women who were going back and forth to the Bay Area, getting their hair done, spending an entire Saturday, leaving like 6 or 7 in the morning and spending the entire Saturday over in the Bay getting their hair done. So immediately I recognized that there was a niche, and although I didn't want to do hair any longer, I saw that they needed me. I was from the Bay Area. I still had fly skills, and I knew that people could possibly use what I had. So what did I do? I went into a salon, I started working in a salon, but I wasn't making no money. And so I didn't know. I moved to this city. I only knew 2 people. One was my sister and another was a girlfriend who I was still doing her hair. So what I started to do, I used my low-hanging fruit, which was I continued to do my family hair. And my sister, she was still working in the Bay Area, who was also living here in the area that I was in. So she was bringing in a few little clients here and there, but that still wasn't enough. So what was I going to do? How was I going to put myself out there? I was really seeking, how was I going to make this happen? I knew that there was a need. I knew that I could help women save gas and not have to travel back and forth. So what was I going to do? I started in a salon, wasn't making any money. So I've always taken pictures, and if you're in the beauty industry, you know how valuable it is to take pictures of your work, and if you don't, you should. So I continued to take pictures of my work. I really wasn't computer literate. I didn't know a lot about the computer, but what little I did know, I knew I needed some business cards. That was the only way that they was going to get to know who I was. So I connected to Vistaprint. There's a link at the bottom for you to click on to Vistaprint. But I connected to Vistaprint, and where you can just basically drag the pictures that you have in your computer down into their little pre-made template. Perfect. So I started making business cards, and I started making flyers, and that was something that I noticed in my area, that people was not promoting their work. They didn't have their own work on their business cards. It was just a plain business card. So that was something else that stood out for me, that separated me from the other stylists in the area. I had my work on my card, so that gave me credibility right there. And so let me back up. I left that hair salon and I went to JCPenney's. And they had a hair salon in the mall. So I'm still trying to be strategic. How I'm going to do this? How is this going to happen for me? So I started working in the mall. They had some little business cards because I didn't have my own business cards through the company yet. They had their JCPenney logo, and I asked well, do you guys have some little coupons? Great, they had coupons. So I walked through the mall. Created me a little something catchy when I walked up to the women. My hair stayed fly, my makeup was on, and I was very approachable. I was able to approach the women, give them the card, the JCPenney card with the little discount. And before I knew it, I thought, because when I worked in the salon, I wasn't getting no business. So I went from getting no business to my salon chair was packed. Oh my goodness, it was packed. I had started pennies around Christmas time, and when I tell you, my seat was full, my books was filled, and the other stylists in the salon, because they took precedence over me, so they thought that when you got walk-ins, that the new walk-ins would go to them first. But the receptionist had to remind them, they are requesting Charlie. These people are coming in, and as they coming in, I'm taking pictures. Not only was I doing their hair, I was doing their makeup, I was taking pictures. I didn't come to JCPenney's to stay there. I came there to build my business, because if you saw my video before, I had my own business in the Bay Area, so I knew what it was to run my own business. So I came there, I used what I had that was available. Nobody knew me in this city. And so I went to the department store and I built my business. And while I was building my business in the salon there, I was building my business at home. I opened up my garage, put some chairs and had a sink installed in my garage, and people was coming to me, and before you know it, hey, I had my salon, the name was called Trendsetters Beauty, and we was jamming. And not only was my business jumping, but my husband, his business also piggybacked off of mine. So what I saying to you is, start with what you have. No, I didn't have any money. I didn't know how I was going to do this, but I had to do something. It was a do or die situation for me, because I knew that I wasn't going to go back to the Bay Area to work. I had to make it happen. We had new people, brand new people that was moving from the Bay Area, and that was here. I found sorry about that. My grandson, I'm watching my grandson, and boy, this boy is too busy for me sometimes. But anyway, I'm going back. I was multi-talented. I had the skills. I had to know how. I was working at JCPenney's, and I was promoting myself as well as working, because remember this, you still need to maintain your 9-to-5 while you building your niche business. So learn everything that you can learn, and most definitely think out of the box. I was solving a problem that got women that was working, and women were coming to me. And so I wasn't trying to steal clients. That was not my intention. I was not trying to steal clients, but I was giving women an option. So whatever it is that you're doing, you're not the first one to do it, but you giving people an option to use you and your service. Okay? So basically, they need to hear who you are. They need to know, your name, your brand, everything need to be buzzing. And it's definitely room for you. While working in my garage, they had the debit card machine, because most people, especially women, didn't carry cash. So I fixed up my garage, turned it into a salon, and I got a debit card machine. They had just started having the where you can book appointments online. So I was continuing to sharpen my skills, how to work online and how to promote myself. In the midst of that, YouTube came. And I was watching my kids, they was watching videos on YouTube, and I'm like, what is that? And they said, this is YouTube. And so I was so intrigued, I needed to have that. my work, I didn't know, once you start, like I said, thinking out of the box, you all kind of ideas, things are going to come to you. So I went over to Kinko's and asked him, I told him what I wanted to do. I wanted to make videos on YouTube, and what kind of software was it that I needed. And the guy told me, you have it already. And I'm like, no, I don't. What is it? He said, it's built into your computer. Girl, I rushed home. I rushed home, went to my computer, and there it was, Windows Movie Maker. It actually took me an entire month. I also put in my very first video that I did with YouTube. It took me an entire month just to put those pictures and everything that I was doing. And not only did YouTube make a big difference for me making videos, I was ranking #1 on the first Google page in my area. Oh yes, I was ranking #1. You know how you have telemarketers that'll call you and tell you that for $59.95, whatever the amount is, that if you use their service that they'll get you to rank on Google. I didn't even need anybody else's service because I was doing it. While you're doing this and you creating your business, you just doing and you going, and it is a definite thing that ideas is going to come to you. You're going to be innovative, and it's going to be so on time. You are on time. One thing that I want to share with you is, #1, choose your side hustle. #2, focus and stay proactive. It's not going to work if you don't work it. So you got to stay proactive. It's your baby. It's your niche. And it's going to work because you want it to work. #3, carve out the day of the week that you can commit to do this. For me, I had to do it every day. Every little moment that I had. So while I was working at JCPenney's doing hair, and when I had those little breaks, not only was I in the mall handing out my card, but I was also taking pictures and doing makeup. Hey, I was hungry. Les Brown said, you gotta be hungry. I was hungry, and so I was out there doing it. #4, you want to avoid distractions. So if that means you have to sit at the grocery store in your car with your notepad, then do that. Do that, because you need to be able to think. And sometimes being at home can be a big distraction. Another thing, get you some business cards. Like I said, Vistaprint is at the bottom of the link. Go through Vistaprint. Once you see your name on those cards and that telephone number and your little business logo, that's going to motivate you. So you may have 250, 500, 1,000 cards, but you think of the possibility of, once you give those cards out, who's going to call you? You don't know, but you just going to be proactive because you know that you got something. You know that it's going to work. You've planted the seed. You're watering the seed. Now, just because you got it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen overnight. No, it's not going to happen overnight, but definitely it's going to happen. Know that people are looking for you and your service, so you got to be ready at all times. Keep sharpening your skills. Never stop learning, because you're working on your brand. You're working on your brand, so never stop, because when you blow up, oh my goodness, and most definitely make videos. Learn. If you don't know how to make a YouTube video, you're watching me. You are watching me right now on a YouTube video. And everybody has to start somewhere. So it's videos on here, how to make a YouTube, how to make a video, what it is that you're going to need. You got a camera, you got a phone. Your phone is your little computer. So instead of going on Facebook and all of these other websites, seeing what the latest gossip is, you need to be using your phone as a computer and looking up things that's going to be innovative, that's going to set your business apart. Remember, there is room for you. There is room for you. Decide when you want to leave your job. Put a date on the calendar. If it's 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, but you want to, make it official for yourself. Because just like you heard about so-and-so leaving their job and becoming CEO and making 6 to 7 figure income, why not you? It can happen for you. I'm doing something right now that is I know that it's gonna explode, but I'm having to still get out here and I got to take baby steps. And although I may not have a lot of views on my video right now at the time that I'm doing this video, guess what? I know that it's going to work, because if you look at my very first video, I got over 100,000 hits on that video to date. Okay? So I didn't have any money. But I had an idea. I was motivated and I knew something was going to work. I was out of my comfort zone. I had moved 78 miles from where I knew how to make things happen for myself. And I did not anticipate me moving to this new city. And I was going to have to go back to something that I thought I had left behind. So you never know what is going to take for you to do it. But whatever you got, bring it to the table. Bring it to the table and work your niche, work your brand. Let the buzz get out there that you are available, you doing it, and eventually it's going to happen. Okay? So that's what I wanted to share with you today. While you working your 9 to 5, how to boss up, how you working your 9 to 5 and you don't have no money, starting from the bottom. It's possible. Can you do it? Oh, yes, you can do it. I'm doing it. So this is what I'm sharing with you today. I hope this information helped you. I hope it inspired you to get up and move and know that I am 52 years old. I always say that, but I am 52 years old, and you're never too old to learn. You're never too old to learn, because you're hungry and you gotta be hungry. Okay? So I want you to have a great day. Also, let me tell you this. I've carved out some time. I do a video every Saturday and I upload it on Monday. Just one video. One seed creates something else. But you gotta start. Thank you for spending your tea time with Charlie. And I have some links at the bottom of the video. If you have any questions or if you have a comment, please leave me a message at the bottom and we'll stay connected. Oh yeah, hit the like and the subscribe button. Let's stay connected. Let's continue to collab together and watch each other blow up. All right, take care and talk soon.